want to say this morning that we're keeping it very simple. Obedience is about compliance with orders, requests, or laws, or submission to somebody else's authority. So, civil disobedience is an internationally accepted and recommended form of protest action practiced in democracies to express dissatisfaction with the leadership conduct of democratically elected governments. It is a peaceful demonstration of the people's will to demand answers to legitimate concerns of the people. It has nothing to do with vandalism, violence, destruction of people's property, harming people in any way, shape, or form. The classic characterization and definition of civil disobedience has non-violence and peace as the undergirding of that definition. It's non-violent, it is peaceful. So where you have the leader of a country talking about civil disobedience in terms of destroying people's property and so on, here is a classic example of a leader of a democracy in the Western Hemisphere that does not know what civil disobedience means. So let's keep it simple. You know the song Trust and Obey, Matt? Mm-hmm. Sing it for me.
I can't sing it, but
I
know the singer like you.
Trust and obey. The word says trust and obey, for there's no other way to be happy in Jesus but to trust and obey. We have been asked in democracies, and we're required in democracies, to trust and to obey our leadership and to trust and obey the rule of law, the exercise of the rule of law. We do not trust Roosevelt Skerritt and his exercise of leadership at this time. Why? Two simple reasons. He has stood in the way of electoral reform that will secure free and fair elections as the backbone of our democracy in Dominica, number one. And number two, he is now refusing to answer questions about the $1.2 billion he says should have been in the Treasury, but is not there. So, in civilized democracies, we do not have any responsibility at all to obey unlawful authority. Mr. Skerritt has dealt with this $1.2 billion of passport money unlawfully. He has moved it out of the Treasury or kept it out of the Treasury unlawfully and unconstitutionally. He has no authority whatsoever to do that, and therefore we will not obey him. We will not obey his decisions. We will not submit ourselves to his authority where those monies and that particular issue is concerned, nor will we submit ourselves to his authority where it concerns free and fair elections of Dominica and the necessity for electoral reform. So, we the people who understand the existentialist threat posed to our democracy by the corrupt, abusive, oppressive leadership conduct of Roosevelt Skerritt no longer trust him and will not be in obedience with his rules, his orders or decisions, nor will we submit to his authority, particularly with respect to electoral reform and the missing $1.2 billion. That, in broad segment, is what the civil disobedience we're talking about at this time entails.